So I completed.
Wait, his kids are older?
I completed every area, okay, except the last world. So
Wistful Wild.
So I might do at least one little area and then I'll be done.
So now basically, yay, we're back to Pikmin 2. Most of all of the Pikmin 2 is like Resident Evil rant. Not just Resident Evil rant, but just a video game ranting on why people end up liking games and not liking games.
You see,
when people have different opinions about games, right?
I got them all with flowers. That's way off.
What I've learned is when people have different opinions about games, it's better to like understand why than get mad. That way you can like learn from a different perspective. Just like, you know, I love this game.
Are you kidding me? I can't hit him.
Oh, they're too heavy to like go that high.
No, he can go that high. It's just they didn't want to.
Like I like learning. Like just like I love this game. Why didn't you like why did you hate it really bad? And then like you learn the reasons. Like, oh, I can see why. I mean, like if I was blah blah blah, I can see why you wouldn't like that.
Harrison, I gotta get 1,000.
Do they work as like one heavy Pikmin works for like 10?
10, yes. One heavy per.
So you need to have 100 of the heavy ones.
100 heavy.
Basically bodybuilders.
Yes, you need 100 heavy Pikmin for one.
Where's the last two?
Right there.
There you go.
Ooh. And you know what happens? It takes forever. So we'll be right back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I stopped talking. You know, it's funny because now this time we talked about Resident Evil not on Max's Doom or Doom Eternal, but on your Pikmin. I think this time I actually got my explanation out better because the first time I wasn't even saying like my point right because it's the first time I was really like thinking about it critically, and the second time I had my thoughts more gathered, but I didn't have all of it.
I gotta show you.
And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, there's no cheesy humor. They just made everything just like the creepiest or most obscure looking as possible instead of like in the past, like spiders looked like spiders, not these like alien, mutated bug spider looking thing that don't even look like spiders.
Why? I thought you were only in the...
Why?
I thought they were only in the special areas.
We all make a lot of weird faces when we play video games. Like I've noticed that. So if we ever did switch to cameras in the future, I mean we wouldn't have to have our faces on there all the time, but we could like put it up there when we're making like a funny face, like when we're mad or whatever.
I have a stronger attack. I punch harder.
So Pikmin can Oliver can actually kick the shit out of him. You already chunked like an eighth of his health.
Because he can do a spit. He can do.
Oh, that's where they got those moves from Smash Brothers.
See, now because I have these.
Oh,
they're all done. See, they're all done. I have boost shoes, rocket fist, and all that stuff. Welcome. Wait, is that why? Yield.
Hey, the thing's almost here.
Yeah.
Also from talking so much and like explaining things so long, my nose got stuffy somehow.
You know what this place reminds me of?
I don't know how that makes my nose stuffy, but it did.
Do you know what this place reminds me of? It reminds me of the last world of
it gives me Thanksgiving vibes.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Pikmin does, and especially since you're collecting food and whatnot.
Hey, that was the third one.
But this can be uploaded at any time.
I'm probably gonna upload this on Thanksgiving during Thanksgiving anyways.
That was my plan. Beginning of November.
Yeah, because if you think about it, November is the same time when the snow starts starting. So, so in the beginning, so the first level will be a snow level, and then we get to this point, and then.
You know, whenever we want something to talk, we could just rant about different video game franchises, and then what ones we like and don't like, and see where we disagree.
Dude, that's $3,000. A doomsday apparatus.
Because that can kill any of them in one smush.
Yeah.
It's their doomsday. You know what I mean, though, with the talking about video games, it seems to give us something to talk about for a long time.
Does, yeah. Here, I'm gonna leave them here. I need to go to the.
I think you and Max argued about games as well, but like it wasn't really a conversation. It was like an argument, just like our original thing with like our opinions on seven. With his Doom. We were like, it was straight up it was just arguing.
Courage is one thing, but recklessness is something else.
I mean, because I was first trying to explain it to you, but then you got angry, then I was getting angry that you're getting angry, so I was just trying to explain to you why I didn't like it, and then you're like, "Urgh!"
Ooh, I need them all.
Oh, and then like my reaction to you going, "Urgh," was, "Urgh! You don't order me."
I need them all. I need all.
And so then it was just an aggressive explaining for like however many hours. Did it basically just get cut down to like 2 episodes?
It got cut down to 2 episodes. Yes.
Like 1 or 2 episodes, because he's like, cut.
There was what I was going to say is there's a few games that I do love and other
I think many times in like our games as well, we were just talking about Kingdom Hearts Forever as well. Like Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil, and then I think Legend of Zelda and Mario we've talked about a lot.
You know, there's a few games that I actually love, but the fan base hates.
There's a lot of games like that where like most people hate it, but then you like it, and it's like, and then the main consensus is you can like what you like, don't let like other people ruin it, or just don't ruin. Like if somebody likes a game, that's good enough, you know.
Yeah.
Just because a game is bad, you don't have to ruin the experience for somebody that likes it.
You see, okay.
You know.
So you know what the problem? Do you actually know what the problem was with Dragon Age 2? Have you ever heard anyone talk about why they hate Dragon Age 2? So in Dragon Age 1, you're able to choose between elf, human, and dwarf. Okay.
Yeah.
Dragon Age 2, one person.
Oh, they took away your options.
One that you can play as a girl, a male or female, Hawk. Their name's Hawk. It's human only. Okay. Take away options. People didn't like some of the things that they did. They didn't like the characters in it. But me, I liked it because that was the first one I've ever played.
The way you just basically explained that's why, kind of the reason why I didn't like 7, because like it seemed like they kind of took away options. They changed characters and whatnot.
But do you know the reason why I liked 2? Because it actually gave me more of a what Dragon Age was about. What was in Dragon Age. But then when I played that one first, because I started the first one, I was like, your character doesn't talk? This is gonna be boring. You know what I mean?
The first one.
The first one. Your character doesn't talk. I was like, your character doesn't talk. This is gonna be boring. So then when I played the second one, I was like,
didn't your character in Fallout 4 talk?
Yes.
And Max didn't like that. So he didn't really like Fallout 4 because
he hated Fallout.
Isn't that like why he didn't like some of the game, like when they had a lot of games with sequels, because like the character not talking to talking.
Yes, he hates talking to his enemies,
which is weird. I mean, I can see why, like in a perspective. At the same time, it doesn't really.
He likes silent protagonists or protagonists that talk absolutely nothing.
Like, I never really minded either way. If a character doesn't talk, then I get used to them not talking, and it's weird when they talk. And then if a character's always talking and all of a sudden they don't talk, it's like, why are they not talking?
Oh, shit. See, the reason I like the second more than the first was because that's when I played. You know what I mean?
That's how it is a lot of times. Because the game you play first, you end up liking more.
But then later on, I learned the first one was amazing. Absolutely, was one of the best games I've ever played. You know what I mean? And then later on, I played the second one. I was like, I can see the reason why people don't like it. It was an absolute downgrade of the first one. There wasn't that many companions that you knew.
You know what's funny?
That many levels, yes.
With Kingdom Hearts, my 2 favorite ones were Birth by Sleep and 3.
The ones you played.
No, Fragmentary Passage was okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I liked Birth by Sleep more because that was my first one. Mm-hmm. But then when I played through, I'm like, oh, this feels so much better. Yes. But then thinking about it, I think I like them just as much as each other. So the thing,
dude, that actually looks pretty good.
Your first video game in a series will be your favorite. It's still kind of true because you'll always have that bias towards it.
You see,
like with Resident Evil, I played 4 then 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always liked 4 better.
You see, I
went 4, 1, 5. Those were my first 3 Resident Evils.
See, that's not all. It's true. It's very true a lot of the time. But it's then when you get to a certain point, not anymore. For example, I played what's that game called?
The reason why that's
Escape.
the reason it's because it's mostly true.
It really is mostly true.
Because most
a lot of the
your
games I
first
played,
one, you will like the
a
the
lot of the
first
games
one
I
you
played first are the ones I love more. For example, I played Mass Effect 2, and I love that one way more than I'll ever love the first one.
Like Mario, Super Mario World is one of my first ones, and I still love it. You see, like that's
it's
when
also
I played it on the channel, and I still enjoy it.
Here,
and in Superstar Saga, I played it like 5 different times.
And I
still
played
like
Paper Mario, and
I played it 10
not
times.
Paper Mario, and I played
Partners
in Time, and I love that one way more than all of those.
I played it once. I was like, oh yeah, I liked it. And Bowser's Inside Story, I played once. I was like, it's fine.
Okay, so here's an example of when it's not true. So I loved Ape Escape 3. Okay, I loved it so much.
Was that the first one you played?
Yes, but the one I love more is 2. 2 is way more fun because the apes actually have names, like better names, and the bosses are more. That's the beginning of how the bosses, the beginning of when they became the Freaky Monkey 5. It's just better for me. But I always loved 3, but I love 2 more. You know what I mean?
It's just like how I like Birth by Sleep in 3 of Kingdom Hearts, and then
But then again, it's also true because I played Silent Hill 2 first and loved that one more than any of the Silent Hill games. Oh shit!
The Mario Luigi RPGs, I always like Superstar Saga the best. So talking about Paper Mario and the Mario Luigi RPGs.
Oh dude, do you know what that gem is? It's part of my old ship. It looks like the same stuff that was part of my ship in the beginning.
And then Pokemon, right? Ruby and Sapphire was my first Pokemon game. So you know which one I biasly like better?
Pokemon,
Ruby and Sapphire. So after, because I got to play Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald, right?
Which is weird because.
And then I haven't got to play Pokemon forever, and so when they came out with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I was like, okay, cool, I can go back into Pokemon, because at that point I was able to get Pokemon games again.
Which is weird because.
So then when it helped me get used to the new way of Pokemon, 3D Pokemon and all that. So then after that, I was like, okay, I'm used to it. Then I bought X, played through X, and I was fine with it. Then I got Pokemon Moon, played it, I was fine, and I got Ultra Sun.
You see, because that's the opposite of me.
So it helped me back into it.
I played.
And I liked the remake just as much as the original, if not more. Because it still felt like the same game pretty much, except a different spin on it. Because it introduced a it introduced a multiverse in the Pokemon thing.
Where there was multiple,
in that one they
the war went on.
Because it's called Omega and Alpha because now there's Mega Stones and stuff, while in the original Ruby and Sapphire they didn't have stuff like Mega Stones and stuff, which is why they had to come up with a multiverse, because it's like, this is the one if the war was either the war was lost or the war was won. I still don't remember what that one was. See, but the original one was like the war lost or won. I don't know. One was one and one is the other, and that's why they said why one timeline doesn't have Mega Stones and why the other one has Mega Stones.
One has Mega Evolutions, one doesn't. Yeah.
Because one was lost, one was won. So
see, the reason the one I played
and
first,
because the story was still pretty much the same, except that was just extra story, you know. That's
shit.
I think that's one way you can do a remake good, and if you still want to change it up, is like keep the story the same, and you can add extra story to it, or it adds on from here side to side, and it can add more experience. That's what people were hoping the 4 remake. That it's still kind of the same, right? But then they add new stuff to make it new. You know, like besides just updating the graphics and the enemies and like all that, right? But adding new stuff, like keeping it the same, but adding new stuff to the story to make the story ends up being longer. They could add new game modes as well, but like the main like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, they can kind of do that same thing where it's the same, but they add a whole new thing. Which is
different for me, because I liked
at the end of Ruby and Sapphire is still pretty much the same, and you do lead 4, and then after that they added a Delta chapter, which was new because it basically because they didn't come out with an Emerald game, so they basically added the whole Rayquaza thing, because I mean with if Emerald, after you beat the Elite Four and everything, you could go and get Rayquaza. All you had to do is you had to go to the thing, get Rayquaza, that's it. But they added story to it, where like you had to, you met Zinnia again, and you had to fight her because she had Rayquaza. No, she didn't have Rayquaza. But she fought with you, and then you fought Rayquaza, and then you could get Rayquaza.
See, I liked. The first Pokemon game I played was Red and Black. Well, black and white. Okay.
Black and white.
But
so I think that was after Ruby and Sapphire. No, I think there was one in between. There was Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, it was Alpha. It was Ruby and Sapphire, then Diamond and Pearl, then Black and White.
See, I didn't like. See, I liked Black and White, but I didn't like his.
I heard that people like Diamond and Pearl and Black and. I think Black and White is when people were getting iffy on Pokemon for a while. But I think most people say they like the Diamond and Pearl era.
See, when I played Black and White, I didn't mind it, okay? I thought Pokemon's a fun game, okay? But what actually got me into the series was X and Y.
I noticed when Pokemon went to DS, because with Ruby and Sapphire to Diamond and Pearl, Game Boy to DS. Probably because I didn't have a DS for forever, so I missed all those in between generations.
See, the series that got me back, the one that got me to actually like it was like I said, X and Y. That's the one I played next, and I loved X and Y. I thought that was like one of the best ones.
Which one was your first one?
Black, white, black.
White and black? Black and white?
Yeah.
And then they had
Black and White 2.
And then they had Black and White 2, which was pretty. I heard it was basically similar to Black and White. They just added stuff.
I think I played Black and White.
Kind of like how Sun and Moon to Ultra Sun and Moon. It was pretty much the same, but they added stuff.
Which one was the one where he's the bicyclist?
Yep, bikes and all of them.
But he actually wore the bandana around his head.
I think there's a few of them that had a bandana.
Oh, Sapphire. I played Alpha Sapphire. That's the other one I played. But
yeah, that's the main one that had a band.
But the one I loved the most was X and Y, and then I went to Ruby and Sapphire. I played Sapphire.
I heard that people didn't like X and Y too much, and then Sun and Moon.